on the process. Next slide. Here's some of those monitors we were talking about, and you cannot believe how much wire there is in the world until you see seismic testing. They can run yellow extension cords for miles and miles and miles, and you know, is that a big concern? No, but the big concern is these blasts, these charges, they drill all these holes, and sometimes they don't come back for a couple of weeks to actually set off the charges. In the meantime, there's C4 down in the ground. There's all these wires going everywhere. And I asked him, I said, well, couldn't you walk out there with a battery and shoot them off? Oh, yeah, but nobody would ever do that. And I'm like, if I was a kid about 13 years old, I would be out there with a car battery. Watch this, you know? The other thing, we've heard of a case where they've had a fire in the field, and the fire went across that. It did not set off any of the charges, but they did end up having to drill out all of those because the wire was burned off. They had to go re-drill all those back out. And we have one example where they blasted it. They didn't go pick up the wires. The crop screwed up. The farmer went out there with his nice big $250,000 combine and immediately tore all of the front end out of his combine.
Oh my God.
Okay. The other thing you have to think about in rural areas is they set up these lines going where they want to go, like, you know, down here, and if there's forest and so on, they try to work around that, but there is a little bit of forest clearing that goes along with it. Next slide. This is back to that helicopter example. We actually have a heliport in Carroll County. Pretty fancy, isn't it there? There's some leased trailers that store the equipment and the explosives. You know, they make such a big deal about homeland security, and there's just trailers on the side of the road with C4 in it. The little heliport there and their fuel pad, and as Tracy said, they use that in rural areas. They bring out these great big bags, they drop down rather than trying to use four-wheelers or whatever to carry the equipment around. But it just always is interesting to me that 4 trailers constitutes security for C4, so love that. Next slide. It can impact the water. We heard of a story tonight, and they are the 0.5 on the resolution. There's another one from the Vibratory in Augusta where they were able to get, it was Cougar Land Services to pay for that. We, as Carroll Concerned Citizens, assisted in that, and it's down at the bottom. Don't be nice, don't be slow. Go right at them and threaten to sue them immediately. I mean, ASAP, get a letter out there, copy in not only the folks at whoever the seismic company is, but whoever the driller is in the area, and always go to the head of ODNR. In this case, it's Rick Simmers. So copy in Rick Simmers, put all those people on there, very professional, only the facts, no hyperbole whatsoever, stick to the facts. Very professional wording. If you do hyperbole and you threaten and all those things, that will get the letter into the trash. You have to be on all these cases very professional. I got to say, in this one, it was a little slow for Cougar. It was a little more than 3 weeks, more like 2.5 months for them to move on this. But once we got going on it, they came back and they paid for 100% of the well replacement cost.